Hello chess friends, we are Chessometrics and we are finally uploading our first video, and we are welcoming you to our channel and hope that you all enjoy the content. I'm FIDE Master Samuel Weber.
And I'm Woman Grandmaster Katarina Dolzhikova. Let's start our first analysis that we show today, and we would like to talk about the last games which were played in Bundesliga, Solingen. And today we start with my game which I played black against Clegg Hanna Maria. Okay, Sam, let's start then.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay.
So it was like e4, c6, so what is this opening?
It's Caro-Kann, yeah, I think it's a very solid opening, and it's quite nice to play, yeah. The black have many so interesting plans inside, yeah.
So the idea is to just occupy the center,
yes,
right?
yes.
And to counter-attack when white goes d4.
Yeah, I think d4 is the main actual solution, and after d5 it's...
You pressure the center.
Yes, and it can be different moves here, also e5, I think it's also the best main lines for nowadays, yeah.
Advanced variation.
Yes. But also the line which played Hanna, knight c3, it's also a very usual common move.
It's considered the main line, I guess.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Nowadays. Well, actually, knight c3 may be the main line, but I think e5, also modern engines and many top players play e5 to gain space.
Yes. I think actually this is the best one, the best,
solution.
yeah.
Black can play bishop f5 or c5, but I think this is some kind of different game then, yeah. So, and we probably don't share our ideas now.
It's a lot of theory. Maybe we'll make another video, but not today.
Not today. Okay, knight c3. So the game continued.
Take on normally, yes, knight f6. I think it's actually the main part of the theory, and it comes till 15, I guess, 13 moves. It's still it's still a theory part, yeah.
Okay, but do you know this bishop f5? That's the old main line, but.
I'm not, maybe my knowledge not so deep now, but I know that it exists, this move.
So it's maybe too slow for you, yes? It's this slow plans of just...
No, I mean, after h4 it seems like white have no problem at all, yeah, because h4, h5, they get a lot of time tempos for this, moves, so, and yeah.
I mean, this is the old mainline stuff, and yeah, knight f6 is a bit more dynamic, more ideas. And it's a fresh idea. Carlsen played this against Duda, I think, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, but you can look that game up. And yeah, this...
I think many players nowadays play knight f6. Actually, the idea, we change the knight from center and then continue developing, yeah? And it seems like black in time to make castle, yeah? And it's a lot of plans then comes, yeah?
And also maybe this double pawn is not so bad because it can be a shelter for your king, right?
Yes, sure, yeah. I don't think it's a big problem for black at all. That's, yeah.
So can you maybe just tell if this is like normal, or does white do something else usually? What do you...
I think this is normal, yeah, this is the main theory as I know, yeah. Maybe it can be another moves, yeah, but it's a very logical one. Actually, queen on c2, bishop d3, they make such a battery, yeah, and the pawn on h7 have to be somehow protected, yeah. And I think only one way to protect, a good way to play h5, because h5 is a very active move, yeah, and exactly. And at some point, some idea h4, h3 in some lines when the white king would like to make a short castle, yeah, maybe this is the best option.
Also, I can add that h5 actually stops h5 by white side, because if you go g6, white's main move is h4.
Exactly.
Yeah. And after now you cannot go h5 anymore because
bishop g6. Yes,
this brilliant sacrifice, and you just get mated probably.
Actually, this sacrifice is from all times, from Murphy games, from Black games. Yeah, I think sacrificing the piece of g6 is very
So the line goes like f5. I don't remember correctly. There's some queen e7 moves. It's actually a different kind of line, but I don't like to be attacked. Probably also don't like this.
If I play this position, I would like to
play with white.
Yeah. So I don't like when someone attack me, and I cannot attack. Another way, yeah.
No, that's why h5 is the main move. I think it's worth an exclamation mark. Well, you cannot see the notation now, but it's the best move in this position. White usually goes for bishop f3, so to just delay the castle to look what black's plan is and then decide where to castle.
Yes. Maybe it's a time just to close some E line, with the idea waiting. Maybe I play directly b5. After b5, maybe better short castle, And I think in this case, knight d7 also make a sense. Actually, also wait the reaction of white, And I think here it's a lot of moves, but the main moves short castle, long castle,
long castle is like approach to be aggressive, like try to some attack. Or, I mean, these typical ideas with the knight and c4, d5 later.
Yes, exactly. Just try like d-line for the rook, and just to make some pin, with the queen d8.
Or the solid setup with castles, where h4 is probably the main move, and you should stop that. Because otherwise, let's say you play a normal move, with that, or like this move that many players would play, then h3 is actually quite annoying.
Yes, of course. It's problematic with the light squares.
Weaken the light squares and imagining the queen landing on d5 is some problems.
That's can be some problematic position for white, because they have to play something c4, d5, but maybe they have not enough time, after h3. So
so c4 was played.
Yes, c4, I think also idea is quite interesting because the white would like knight c3 with the idea d5. And also at some point waiting moves how the black continue, which next plans,
But
and,
probably now, if I can interrupt, like c4, the king is still in the middle, right? So you have the rook on the e file, now you develop your knight as well, which is usually nice, and that's, I think, the drawback of c4, that the king is in the middle, so you should try to open files, no? Like, what is your plan now?
That's the idea, and in some variation, I think after c4 it's possible to make shah with the bishop, with the queen, and the white have to do something, or change the bishop, but the king still in the middle. I think this is the main problem for white, They have to see how to react, That's why I think after c4, very, very interesting idea, play e5, Because e5 idea is very easy. I would like just to push e4 because the king on e8 and the black closed this battery, battery line. But of course e5 I sacrifice, I sacrifice the pawn, and some players not understand, why they have to give some pawns in the beginning and so on. But I think idea is nice because after bishop e5, the black can change this bishop, and this bishop for white structure is important one.
But if I can interrupt for our new viewers, probably, if someone is new to chess, and they want to learn chess, this is quite a remarkable move, no? You just put a pawn on a square that is twice protected.
Yes.
So probably this was some home preparation, maybe.
No, that's because of Samuel. Intuition and Samuel is a very good researcher. Some interesting ideas. It was.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you just nowadays turn on your Silicon Valley stockfish, you can always find some ideas. But it's more that you find ideas that in practice, in practical play, are very dangerous to handle for your opponents, right? So if you always, to our viewers, if you wonder how to play in practical play, you need to find ideas which put the opponent under pressure. And if then the engine is also suggesting that this is a nice move, then you found the correct path. If the engine says it's bad, then of course it's not so, you should not try it too often, but as one idea, you can always use it for one game.
Yes.
But here, this move is just best. So c4 is an interesting move to see whether or not black checked at the lines. Because if you don't play f5 here, c4 makes a lot of sense. It stops actually the move b5.
Yes, that's very important. After castle, for example, the black cannot continue b5 as usual.
So if you do that, black can play the main move, or he can play b5, which is now possible, but it's not possible when you play c4. Because now if you play b5, I think there's the move c5, and probably at some point you
d5 take bishop d4, some ideas as well with
you
two
will
bishops.
Castle now.
With idea g4 and some variation
some attack, and I think black is not in time to get control over the square. Yeah, imagine, okay, black can still try this gambit, but I think here, okay,
With the tempo up, I think its position can be probably good for white because they have
Maybe.
idea g4, they have a knight f6.
Yes.
I think they have
It's
no
still
king
possible.
in the middle. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why maybe now it's not so dangerous, right?
But it's actually, it's not dangerous anymore for white, but I think it's still okay as a compensation for black. Yeah, with the square,
Yes.
it's quite nice. So yeah, that's these ideas. Okay, but in the game she took on f5 after actually a 6-minute thing, so she probably was familiar with this, but she just probably checked her lines in her head and just tried to come up with the correct plan.
Yes, but after knight f6, it's also for the whites they have to decide what to do now, yeah. Because if not take on c8, yeah, for example, maybe I can as well play knight g4, and
Yes.
that's maybe not so easy, yeah, to get at some point, yeah, the best plan for white, yeah.
But I think everyone should bring the king into safety, right? And then just take this knight.
Maybe.
Now you can decide to take like this or that.
Maybe, yes, that's position.
But you have a
interesting, yeah.
playable position for both sides. Black has sacrificed a pawn, but has a lot of active pieces. Like every piece is active.
In the middle, right.
And you have the bishop pair, which is nice in an open position, usually. Yeah, to all new viewers, that's very important. And I think you have a lot of compensation because it's also not easy for white to see a plan, like clear-cut plan for white. There's no good pawn breakthrough. d5 now, okay, will be the long-term plan for white, but black also still has some attacking ideas, maybe some bishop c7, queen d6 stuff, yeah, some battery.
Yes, of
many,
course, it's
many
playable.
plans.
It's playable position, and as well, not forget that white have a pawn up. Yeah, we
Exactly.
have not to underestimate the material things
the
actually
long-term,
in chess.
yes,
Yeah, this is as well. Yeah, this is a compensation for the pawn,
Exactly.
of course. Yeah, but still, white have a pawn up. Yeah?
Exactly.
Let's not forget about this.
Yeah, of course. In long term, white is better, so you have to be careful. But very interestingly now, white played, I mean, castle are the two main moves, but very obvious for a human is bishop takes c8. You just want to gain a tempo,
Yes,
and then castle.
make to do something with castle. Yes.
But the problem is, you take the light squared bishop off the board, like you own light squared bishop, you lose control, you lag this bishop, lose control over the light squares. So this g4 square now, right, is weak.
Yes,
I think that is your idea.
The main, yeah, that's the main actual idea. Yeah.
After takes, I can reveal actually that, yeah, this was the prep and black is actually better already, which is quite remarkable.
It's difficult to find a move for white. For example, make a castle. It's not easy because knight g4, and I think maybe it's possible that the white can give the bishop on a3, and after 3 it gives the pawn back, but exactly have something to do with the f line. Yeah, that's also I think some of the possible ideas. Not just to heading for this pawn. Yeah, it's now like important thing. Important now maybe queen f5 can come.
Actually, queen f5. I also
During the game, I thought, okay, it can be not so risky.
And it's actually not it is actually perpetual, but also the rook is now hanging. So white can play for the
I think, Sam, that's after king g8, you can come back with a queen. At some point, bring your rook on the h line, and it can be some mate.
Maybe some
rook f5. So that's idea. I think during the game, I have to cope and understand that there's some possible ideas. Maybe I have to somehow to protect this pawn now and queen e7, maybe just to try get something of the e line. Yeah.
Actually, maybe she should have done this. What's happening here? Queen f5. Well, you attack 2 pawns, but the knight is attacked as well. So maybe
queen. No. Rook on c8. Rook on c8. So this have queen's e8. Queen e8 can possible. But no. Okay, Sam. I think it will be another game.
Maybe there's rook c7. If you said the rook is
also rook c7.
Transfer that because the queen is still more active
queen
here.
h4, direct. And also bishop on d6 is very strong. Yeah, on the black squares, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think black here is still a fine game. But okay, she opted for a very slow move.
She did another h3 move, but
And
yes, I understand this is like a prophylaxis, yeah, but
against
still,
this.
not forget, actually, white have a problem with the king, which in the middle, right? That's why I think now bishop b4, yeah, gets some problem for white, and I just show some lines, for example, if bishop d2, yeah? Now, not forget the king in the middle, what to do after treat, knight e4, yeah? And if the queen away, yeah, that's, I think I have already shah on a5, yeah, no, for example, some light variation, queen c2, shah, king f1, shah, knight d2, game over, yeah, and now problematic actually how to continue, maybe queen b4 only one way somehow to stop all of this, yeah, but still, yeah, maybe it's so problematic, my castle, maybe I have to continue somehow a5 or c5,
C5
actually,
is a very
yes,
nice one.
c5 interesting as well, oh, and
And
now
now
a5, yeah, and the queen away, queen d2. So that's a
very
lot
nice.
comes a lot of tactical idea because the king in the middle, yeah. So that's actually we all know main rules, yeah, in openings that the king have to be castled, yeah, and actually.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when king in the middle can get some trouble.
Yeah, and actually it's very important to remind all of you guys that actually these are strong players playing, yeah, and also on the highest level, like on Magnus Carlsen and so on, sometimes they forget about the basic rules, about king in the middle, yeah.
For
very
example,
strong
in some
players.
position in French, yeah, so if we, for example, another variation, yeah, after bishop
Exactly.
before shah, sometimes king comes to f1, yeah, but it's only possible, why? Because the structure is closed, yeah,
yes.
and the king can
But
hide
here,
on g2.
here it's an open position, so I think black is better.
Yes, I think it's white king now under risk, yeah, because still king cannot cope. Yeah,
so I was watching that game, of course, online, and when I saw this game, I usually look myself, yeah, and then the most obvious move was the move that you played, and then I tried to just analyze with the engine a bit as well, because I always like to confirm my thoughts if they are correct or not. Always important to first look on your own, yeah, and what you want to do, and then in the analysis always good to afterwards look with the engine. And the engine suggested a weird move, queen d7, which is a move for advantage, which I don't understand so much.
Maybe the queen like goes to e5 after knight e4, rook e4. But it's a bit slow.
Maybe, but it's a bit slow, exactly. So
I think so human, knight e4 so
very
logical to play because there comes a lot of ideas. Knight from e4 actually is central knight, and that's why can be a lot of shahs, knight f2 at some point, yeah, when e line can be open, yeah, and of course directly next moves also very logical, yeah, and I think h4.
I think it's a nice move.
Idea is very strong because the rook comes to f3 and I understood that after queen f6, of course, comes next move rook f3, yeah?
Okay, yeah, and now this position is probably extremely critical, right? This was probably the moment where...
yes.
Like, at least for a viewer, I saw this game, and I think this is the most critical moment of the game. Because now if you don't do something concrete, not something... Like, if you play a slow move, I think white can consolidate. Yeah, and have a pawn up. Rook f3,
I think, yes. Okay,
exactly. And maybe white can be better at some point in the long term.
After a3, I think the bishop away, king g1, and then rook d1, rook to f3.
D1,
and,
all these ideas.
Yes, and I think it's enough for, position good for white and pawn up. Also not forget about pawn, yeah. That's the reason why the black now have something exactly
concrete.
strong and then dynamically to continue, yeah.
So for our viewers, if you want to find it on your own, you can pause the video and try to find it. And we'll see you on the other end of this break. And for those who just want to listen to the video directly, you can now see the solution which Katja played. It's an amazing move. I really love it. And you can show it maybe. The move is bishop d2, yeah, and the idea is easy. When bishop away, just black mate on f2, yeah. But the main question after bishop e2, of course, the rook can come on f3 and attack the queen. And now if queen somewhere away, even if I take on h4, bishop d2, shah, there's always this knight on g1.
And knight on g1, exactly, yeah. Of course, yeah. But after rook f3, the problem for white that exists the move queen g6. And interesting, but bishop d2 not possible
That's
because
amazing.
comes tactical stuff, knight g3,
That's
and the
good.
queen can be win on c2. Yeah, so that's idea, tactical idea, two idea in one. Yeah, the first idea was made, second idea with this geometric
Yes.
motive with open attack and winning the queen. So that's why after queen g6, I think with the white it's very difficult to find the right solution, because for example king g1, very logical idea. Yeah, the king away from the shah, but knight g5. Yeah, and now interesting, but the white have take, but I can take with shah quality, take the queen, and yeah.
At the end, the knight is hanging because the king is on g1.
At the end, hanging the knight only 2. Yeah.
Some calculation, nice. Wow.
Yeah, that means that for white, it really comes moment where they have to find maybe the only one move. I'm not sure that comes a lot of moves.
That's not a geometric tactic, it's chessometric tactic.
Just, yes.
So,
yes. And for example, queen cannot come here or another place because bishop take on the 3, that comes easy fork. Yeah, that's why the white have to come really with only one move. I'm not actually saw another move during my game. Maybe Stockfish can show another moves, but
no, I don't know. I was only very happy when I saw bishop d2, queen g6, because you played so amazing, like very strong. Okay, queen d1. Yeah, she found probably the best way. You traded?
After bishop e3, actually, one moment I stop here just to show rook e3 moves. And rook e3, I thought queen f6, for example, comes another problem.
Attack.
Yeah,
and
f2
h4 as well.
And h4, yeah, and rook f3 comes queen to h4, yeah.
Yes.
And I thought, of course, the white take with f pawn. But after that, in the right moment, I understood, okay, the position for black quite nice, yeah. So everyone can say, oh, we have the knight on the 4. What else black can wish, yeah? Maybe the knight on the 4, okay. Yeah, but the piece is very beautiful on the 4. But the piece not make some rolls, not make some pressure,
That's
yeah?
not attack
That's
weaknesses.
not attack weakness, that's important. Piece not have to be not only beautiful,
on a good square,
yeah? It's have exactly have something to do, some purpose. That's why my second plan, which I understood that the knight have to be on a5, because from a5 it gets attack h4 and e3, and still the black squares lightly weak, yeah, lightly weak, because the king have to be somewhere on g1 and better than the pawn stand on h2. But for white, yeah, that's have a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, I love your next move, knight d6, because it's very important for the viewers to understand how difficult in chess it is to switch styles. Magnus Carlsen is considered the best at adapting to new situations. So the situation was this structure, normal one, where you have an attack on the king with tactical motives, the queen is unprotected and so on. And then many people would try to find an attack now. They would try to bring the rooks in, try to directly play queen g4 maybe, I don't know, just some attack on this side. But instead of doing that, you now switch to strategic play to realize that the drawback of this structure change is that actually the pawns become weak. So it's not actually about an attack, it's actually about positional understanding that the weaknesses now are more important than the attack.
Yes, in every position, very important to find the main, the main theme. Yeah, that's the main. What on the first position?
Yes, exactly.
What on the second position? Yeah, in the first position, yes, right.
So
the weak squares, the weak squares and the pawns.
Yes. So at the beginning here, it was the king in the middle, right?
Yes.
That was the main theme in the position, and you try to exploit it. Yeah. And then this change happened, and now it's not about the king for the moment. It's about structural weaknesses, right? And you played amazing knight d6, rook c1, knight f5, and I think now black is clearly better, objectively better already, but practically very tough to defend.
I think for the whites they have to see so many like
Maybe
moves.
only moves.
Yeah, maybe rook to c3 or how to
Yes.
cope with e3, but as well comes in some motives knight h4,
Yeah.
some position queen g4, and e4 square can be not only for the knight. At some point can be blockade squares for the one rook and gets another rook to
Yes.
make some battery.
Get this
It's
rook
also
active.
that's also can be strong when the black have more resources to continue the attack for the squares. That's actually not about attack, not about king. That's about how to continue pressure, how to find these resources with the squares which is weak.
And the nice thing is, spoiler alert, this game ended in a kingside attack, so the king got mated, but it's because you try to use certain weaknesses. You try to.
Sometimes when coming some strategy, with some dynamic
It's a
plans,
switch,
it's sometimes very difficult to cope with these ideas. To see every in one, especially
Yes.
when decide not to attack psychologically, very difficult to cope. To cope in time trouble as well when it's not in time. 5 minutes for 10 moves or 15 moves. Everyone know how it's tough to be calm. To be in this such situation.
For everyone that is wondering what side note means, it's the German word for time trouble because we are from Germany.
Yes,
So,
I can say
just
not. It's international word, Samuel. That's we can
maybe.
say it not.
Well, there's also Zugzwang and
Zwischen.
Exactly.
That's exactly
The
the meaning. Oh, Mittelspiel, endgame. So
Yes.
guys, you know that's international words. It exists.
Okay, but let's come back to the game. Rook e4. I think she defended quite well for a long time. I mean, Queen g4, it looks very dominating, but you still have to find precise moves. Rook c8 is very logical. I think just putting pressure. King g1 is also a nice move to get out of all of these knight checks.
Anna spielt very good. She
Yes.
found very ideas
Nice.
and very solid ideas,
Yeah.
which is how. That's why I think that idea when exactly take on h4 before I took the rooks, I think it's not enough for black because in every position rook can
Yeah.
comes or on g3, h3, and maybe that's a time that the black have to wait the right moments. That all pieces have to play. That's why
Yes.
the black need all these pieces
Yes.
here. And this moment, I think knight d3 very nice motif. That's why
Very good move.
Yes, in time
That's
trouble.
really strong.
Yes, Anna
Amazing.
played very nice here.
I think
Knight d3. I think the idea
best resource.
just best resource. I cannot take on the 3.
Big blunder because
Yes,
of
knight
e5.
e5 blockade the e line.
Yes.
Gets e3
The rooks
trouble.
get disconnected
Yes.
and you lose probably some material maybe.
At some point, I think that after queen g5, the white can
Even sacrifice. Yes.
Some position it's possible away. But on knight d3, I thought, okay, when knight away from the king, maybe I have to find some
Maybe.
idea. Yes.
Right.
Why not play for mate now?
Yes.
because the white also have to
Change the
coordinate
drawback
the
of
moves.
the move. Yeah.
Yes.
So you played move knight g3.
Knight g3,
And this is also very important. If you're wondering, like, you can see that the engine shows, or the system shows knight e3 as green, as a good move. But in time trouble, if you take here, you give your opponent ideas, right? Like she will have some tactical motives and you don't want to cope with that. So you try to play on the attack so that she now in time trouble needs to find a defense against this. It's not that easy.
It makes some also like when 10 minutes, when 5 minutes, and after knight d3, right? Okay, knight d3, but it's a risk not only for white side, it's a risk for the black side. And
Exactly.
I'm not sure in my evaluation position, maybe some can be blundered.
Yes.
But why I have to play this variation when after knight g3? It's really the black have no problem at all. They have to continue all of these plans, all queen h4, all f5, and I think the white still have to find the best ideas.
Only defenses probably.
Only moves which not to lose.
Yes. I think she found a nice plan.
Anna played till end very nice, very strong, very nice,
good.
and I should say it's a very
good game.
Very good ideas.
D5, also searching for counterplay, very
good,
important when you have.
D5, it's very exactly idea with the D promote pawns that the white have to use this pawn.
When you lose on one side, you have to try in the center or on the other side. That's the general knowledge. So this is a nice distracting move. You cannot attack now, so you have to defend a bit. takes. Yeah, and now I think the position is probably dynamically balanced because all of a sudden, if you try to mate, maybe the pawn comes.
Of course, yeah. That I have to see
Quite
that there
dangerous.
actually white have also some rook and queen and especially d
Exactly.
pawn, yeah. And if I not find continuation how to get the pieces in the right, yeah, place, I'm
Yeah.
not sure this position
Yes, maybe not even
chance
better.
to win.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, f5.
This is idea as well. I would like to stop idea in future e4 and exactly
Also dominate this knight
yes
a
to
bit.
stop the knight. Maybe
Yeah.
e4 square later for the
It's
rook
logical.
knight.
It's
Yes,
logical.
yes.
But problem is these squares maybe. Yeah, that's why she played knight h3. It's a good move.
And of course the light squares. I'm not sure about the king safety, but it's not like very big trouble.
There's
for
no
king,
bishop,
yeah?
and
Yes, yes,
it's
no bishop.
quite safe here.
Quite yes.
This king is a bit more vulnerable.
Yes, if the light bishop's on the board, for example, instead of rook, if it's
Yeah,
a
of
bishop,
course.
yeah, never, guys, never play 5.
Yeah.
That's after this move,
I mean, this-
it can be big trouble for the king. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, it's about squares, yeah.
Yeah, okay, knight e4. And now she goes to b4, tries to attack you a bit,
I
but
think this move also very logical, very understandable,
It's
because the queen
logical.
would like to be on the center position. That's why
Yes.
queen comes on b4.
I think after queen b4, I spotted also a nice idea here that when I was just looking at it and analyzing a bit, that the idea for white now might be really to take here even, and then really get some, attack on her own, yeah, at least. And after this check, always probably you don't have more than perpetual. So she had some ideas with that move. But I think the drawback, it's a really nice resource for black here. The queen is unprotected. So if you directly play rook g6, she cannot take here anymore because of queen h3. And also, if the king moves somewhere, just to go out of this tactic, then you have some knight g3 winning the queen.
That's also, yeah, and as well some ideas after queen d4. I think the very classical sacrifice
this is
on
nice.
g2, and after
Queen g4, like-
yes, the
Yes.
knight gets the square, the king away, and
And you take
that
check and
comes
it's
with
over.
some mate, yeah. So that's why, I play directly rook b6, yeah. That's why I would like to distract the queen from here position. Just at some point, maybe I can get the shot, yeah.
But did you consider rook g6 first, or did you just think that?
I think that idea can be double. I can rook g6 first, or I can first rook
Okay.
b6 away the queen. I think that's maybe
So
I
you
need
wanted
this.
that square, yeah?
Maybe this I
Okay,
can use
yeah.
this tempo, yeah, at some point
Interesting.
later.
Rook g6, knight f4 happened,
Yes,
and well, I can see that white has some ideas of saving, yeah, and this pawn. But okay, you try to trade the one defender that is left, and then try to mate. Yeah, that's nice. And she had to protect the mate or the check on e1.
but with the queen and knight, as always have to looking for some tactical stuff,
Exactly.
yeah, because
They
this
work
is
very harmoniously.
This is actually
Yes.
for the attack the best when the
Combination.
queen with knight, not when the queen with bishop.
Yeah.
Only when some battery stuff, yes,
Yeah,
can be
but-
at some position. But the queen and knight, they have a lot of tactical
Exactly.
ideas and etc. And I
Yeah.
think as the last, this is the last move which we made. It was a really
And
tough side note.
I think it's
really
very tough. It's
very
one
tough.
move before the time, or two moves.
It was 5 seconds first,
Yes.
and then 3 seconds, and again 8
Yeah.
seconds. And I think the
And-
nerves comes.
Yes. And she
Mm-hmm.
missed this tactic move. King h1 probably just holds. I mean, holds is a strong word, but you can probably make two checks.
And then think
And then
about
think again
how to
with more
continue
time.
with the plans.
That's the best way also to our viewers as well, that if you have Zeitnot time trouble, you have two moves to play, and you have really only 30 seconds increment all the time. If you have a perpetual available, play two moves with checks, and then you have 30 minutes or let's say 1
Yes,
hour,
of course, yeah.
depending on the time code, that you can think longer for a plan. Because you should never go for your ideas when you have a perpetual available. just to get to the time control.
In some critical position, especially it was, I remember a lot of games which comments Botvinnik, yeah, and he said that it was exactly 38, 39 moves, yeah, when the opponents have very really hard set knot, and instead in critical moments make some moves which cannot not so exactly change the position, yeah, they make a very, very real move which
surprises the opponent.
But it was 39, 40 moves,
yes,
and exactly after that, we know guys that 50, 60 years ago, when they after 40 moves, they not get increments, they have a 1 day analyze with a group of grandmasters. Of course, they have no stockfish, but they have a lot of grandmasters, guys, for example, a team with Stahl team or Botvinnik team, we know this, yeah. And after this 1 day, Botvinnik said, okay, we found so great idea, we understood in this critical position why this move was the last mistake, the last, for example, strategical mistake. That's why better instead not really not make something which is change your position, and maybe that was the last mistake can be.
Yeah, nowadays it's that you cannot go to your home and make an adjournment for the game.
Yeah, but nowadays you at least can get 30-40 minutes, and sometimes it can be enough to calm down and understand your plans and so on.
Of course. Well, come back to the last part of the game. Yeah, and side note, of course, it can happen to all of us. She made a big blunder, and yeah, if you want to find the move on your own, you can again pause the video. But after King H2, it's just basically resigns after the beautiful move Knight G5 that you played, and yeah, the game is over because once again Knight F3 is threatened, and you also have some Rook takes E3 stuff, and the king is extremely safe now on G8 and H7, and this king is about to be mated. So.
And I think the last move for the white, Queen C4, that's idea Queen away from the fork, and at some point idea D6. Yeah, that's why this a very logical move. Yeah. But suddenly comes that's geometry again, because the Queen hangs on the fourth rank. Yes, exactly, and at the last the Queen just win a Queen.
Yeah. Well, very nice. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the nice game, Katja. It was a really nice pleasure to watch and analyze this with you. And we hope to see you guys around. If you like our content, just follow us on the button below. And we'll see you in the next videos. Yes. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.